The last couple of years, how many times you sat there and watched a game and be like, if they could just block, this guy's open, that guy's open, but they cannot block. Well, this team, this is maybe the best offensive line he's ever played behind.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame after a huge Chiefs victory, 30-17 over the Detroit Lions. Thank you to our sponsors, Ben Holiday Bottled in Bond Bourbon and Holiday Distillery, for making this all possible. We're drinking a lot of it today because we are celebrating, Matt, a big must-win game for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they had it. They won it. They must win it. They needed to win it, and they did get it done. Very good feeling to be doing this podcast after a Chiefs win. Again, we are recording this podcast late on a Sunday night for you guys to enjoy on your Monday afternoon. How are things for you, Matt?
Things are good. Things are better than 6 days ago when we recorded a podcast after they roughly rang up 975 yards on Jacksonville and she had to lose. The first quarter and a half of this game, I was very annoyed with them because I just felt like the offense was moving the ball, but at 6 points.
All right.
The defense gave up 10 points on the first two possessions, and Detroit was kind of moving again. And then the Chiefs held on fourth down. Amon-Ra, look, it wasn't an easy catch. It was a ball that he normally probably would catch.
Right.
Chiefs had a lot of pressure, whatever. He doesn't catch it. The whole game changed from that on.
Yep.
Everything changed. The Chiefs outscored them from that point in the game forward, 24-7. The Lions had, on their last 6 drives, they scored 7 points. They averaged, in that stretch, 4.2 yards per play, which would be among the worst in football. Okay, the Lions really, after the first 2 drives of the game, did not do a whole hell of a lot. They did the one very good drive where obviously they scored, and then the Chiefs answered it with a touchdown. That was kind of it. The Lions did not, Goff threw for 7 yards per attempt. They did not run for 100 yards. They did not have 300 yards of offense in the game. It's a weird, I don't know if you feel this way, because to be honest, I haven't talked about it. It didn't feel dominant defensively.
No.
But then you look at the box score and you're like, did a pretty damn good job. The Lions were averaging 35 points a game coming into this game and 40.2 over the last 4 games. And they kind of did jack after the first 2 drives. So very impressive. Also had the weirdest play I've ever seen where Goff bobbled and caught a touchdown. But it turns out
it wasn't a real play. Yeah.
It was insane. And then they were going to go for it, and then Goff was just bitching at the official, and they had a delay game. It was very weird.
That was weird. I couldn't tell if that was intentional or not. It almost seemed like it might have been intentional, so they could back up and have a better, because they were on a hash, right? So I wonder if they wanted that delay game. That was my initial thought, is they wanted the delay game because of the angle, because they were on that near hash to them, far hash to the broadcast. But
right.
You bring up that first drive, and I was actually texting with Matt Hamilton during the game. We were talking about it, and you talk about the dominating factor of how the Chiefs defense kind of did dominate in this game, and this was kind of the most exciting 13-10 game at half that had ever happened. Right? When you were looking at the score, you're just oh. This game's only 13-10. Both these teams were really moving the ball. Both of these teams, the offense was doing good. The offense for both teams were moving. The fact that they were able to get 3 points, to hold the Lions to 3 points on that first drive, was kind of huge. The fact they took up 10 minutes of game time and then only got 3 points out of the deal is a big kind of momentum swing. The Harrison Butker mixed extra point, what I thought was going to be a problem. I saw an edit of Harrison Butker mixed with a terrorist that I will not name. We're getting to that point with Harrison Butker, which guys it was actually Michael Rubin is who he was mixed with. Saddam Hussein. But I think it was one of those things where we're getting to that level with Harrison Butker. Thankfully, it didn't matter in today's game, but it was starting to feel oh no, this might matter, because look, the Lions got a good kicker.
That extra point was I like to see the replay, and I haven't. Did he slip or something?
It did look a little funny. I don't know if I have
he missed a kicking net.
Yeah.
That is, if you've ever been behind a kicking net, it's not narrow.
Covers some real estate.
I mean, to miss a kicking net on an extra point is almost impossible. That was not good. But maybe it's a night of kind of deceiving looks and numbers because I thought the defense was fine, but I didn't think they were dominant. But the numbers say they were pretty damn dominant after the first two drives. I thought Chris Jones was a monster in this game, and he had one tackle, and he had one quarterback hit. And you look at those numbers and go, that guy's not playing worth the money. If you watched him in that game, he blew up play after play after play. I mean, they could not block him. He was everywhere. I thought he played really well. And then on the flip side, Shamari Connor had like 14 tackles, but there's a reason Shamari Connor had 14 tackles. And not a lot of good reasons. I think, though, you got to start here. I was super impressed offensively for the third week in a row. I mean, they haven't looked like this in years, where they just take the football and like they could be on their own 1 yard line. I'm like, yeah, they're going to score.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping them. What's been so notable the last 3 weeks is it feels, and I know it's not, it feels easy. They just take the ball and they're like, yeah, guess what? Here it comes. Do something about it. And it's like effortless. I mean, he's brought back. He's got time. Bing, 8 yards, 12 yards, 17 yards, 10 yards. It's just, they're moving the ball. And a lot of that is the blocking. Suamataia was, again, excellent tonight. I know they gave up 3 sacks, but really their offensive line did a very good job, without Josh Simmons. I thought Jaylon Moore came in. I thought he played a very good game against Aiden Hutchinson.
I agree.
Now they get Rashee Rice back. Like, when you block like this for Mahomes and he's got all these guys to throw to.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelsey, look, nobody killed Kelsey more than me the first 3 weeks. I felt like his efforts sucked. He's on pace for like 915 yards receiving.
Right? Like 76 catches or something like that, too.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, so it's been, and I just think it's interesting that it's a night where Thornton didn't even have a target.
I know.
And you're like, okay, the last couple of games, they've been finally, for the first time in years, they've been getting the ball down the field. This game, they never really got the ball down the field. Detroit had felt like kind of kept the lid on that all game. And Mahomes was like, great, I'm just going to smoke you to death, short and intermediate, and there's nothing you're doing about it. He had 4 total touchdowns, 3 in the air.
Yep.
He's got 15 touchdowns now for the season. I mean, I got to tell you, if he's not the MVP right now, he's second to Baker.
Right.
Because he's ahead of Josh Allen. So, I mean, like I just think right now, like the defense did its job, and I thought special teams was much better tonight, except for Butker kicking that extra point in Texas. But I might even have hit the Gulf of Mexico or America or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I almost made a joke that we would have gotten in trouble for. Yeah.
Filter's working at 12:30 in the morning.
We probably would have gotten in trouble, but people would have been pissed.
Fair.
But we'll leave it alone. I'll make it later. Mostly if people stick around that earn the joke. But yeah, listen, the bottom line is if they play offense like this, they're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
We talked about that after the Jacksonville game. As much as that result sucked, like if they play offense like this, most teams in the league are just not going to be able to keep up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And Detroit's a team that could, theoretically, and they got blown out.
Right.
I mean, Detroit, like, I would make a real argument that by the end of the season, these might be the 2 best offenses in football. And, like, yeah, Tampa, you'll throw them in there. You're fine. But man, the Chiefs right now, the last 3 weeks, it has just felt like when they have the football, they're scoring. And there's very little you're going to do about it. And it certainly felt like that on Sunday night.
I'm rewatching the Harrison Butker extra point right now. He doesn't slip. He hooks. I mean, he pulls the shit out of it with his leg. You can tell
that for sure.
It's actually so funny watching it just sail wide of the kicking net. I mean, it is. He's in his head, man, is what it looks like to me. It looked like he just like tried to hit that one too good. I don't know if it's like a hold issue. I mean, we haven't talked about holds even at all. Like that hold looks fine.
It shouldn't be. I mean, Elijah was there last year holding, and it wasn't an issue. So
yeah, no, it's weird. I'm glad that like it didn't become a problem. I'm still going to be worried that it is going to become a problem in a game at some point. Just because of the margin of error we've seen in the just NFL wide, the margin of error, it seems like this year is so much thinner than it has been in years prior. One player I do want to talk about, you mentioned Travis Kelce. I think that's great. I think third and Kelce is absolutely back on the menu. I talked about this on the post game show. What I was really impressed with Travis Kelce is he did come up in those big third down situations coming into tonight's game or Sunday's game, I should say. Coming into Sunday's game, he had 3 catches on third down. That's in 5 weeks. Tonight, he had 2. So, I mean, he nearly doubled up his catches on third down. See, his catches came second down, first down, second down, third down, second down, third down. So he almost nearly had back-to-back third down catches, and both of those third down catches were late in the game as well. So there's the one that he turned around. I think there was a 3rd and 7 on that longer drive that they ended up, I think, scoring a touchdown on. And then that was a Hollywood Brown touchdown on the pop pass. And then he had the third down where he just kind of turned around in the zone and caught it. So Travis Kelce, I'm glad you brought that up, is playing good football right now. Another guy who's playing some good football right now might be the best wide receiver 3 in the Patrick Mahomes era, Hollywood Brown.
2 touchdowns.
Lights, camera, action, Matt, because it was Hollywood time for him. Now, his numbers, he does have 2 touchdowns, right? But he doesn't have like the numbers because Travis Kelce is the guy that ends up leading the team in receiving with 78 yards on 6 catches. You have Hollywood Brown with his 45 yards on 4 catches, targeted 4 times too, didn't drop a pass. And Juju Smith-Schuster has not only took a punch to the face after the game, you know what? I think we need to appreciate Juju Smith-Schuster here a little bit because he has done some things this year that are very impressive for Juju. He has kind of embraced that role of, I'm going to do the gritty, dirty work. I'm going to be this guy who's going to go out there. I'm going to be on the field. I'm going to block. I'm going to get after everybody. I'm going to embrace my role. And when they're going to throw him a pass, he's going to catch it. I mean, again, 3 for 3 today on targets and catches for him. So I've been really impressed with Juju Smith-Schuster. He had 30 yards after. That's not right. He had, I thought he said 30 yards after catch. He had a long of 30, which, I mean, a lot of that was after the catch for him. 3 catches, 57 yards on the day for old Juju Smith-Schuster. He's been playing some really good ball and has been, I think, pretty crucial for this team when it comes down to just like the role players.
He's on pace for 637 yards.
Shout out Juju, man.
Which, look, you know what the funny thing is with this team? Like, they have so many, now that Rice is back specifically, they have so many guys to throw the football to that this might be a year where nobody has 1,000 yards in this team, but about 8 guys have 500.
Yeah.
Where it's, I mean, now look, I think if Rice was there for the whole year, he would have been 1,000 yards.
He still might.
That would be hilarious.
It'd be so funny.
Everybody's got to eat, but some of us more than others.
Right. Yeah.
But between him and Worthy and Kelce and Juju and Hollywood and Thornton, I mean, that's 6 guys that, like, legitimately in any game could have 60, 70 plus yards and you wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
You know, like that wouldn't be surprising. And a lot of those guys that I just mentioned, they had 100 yards, wouldn't be surprised by it. Like that's where, you know, here's one thing I can guarantee you. Going forward, I'm going to be seeing a lot of zone defense.
Yeah.
Because you just get to a point where, like, look, okay, maybe you have a corner or 2, even if you're a really good defense. You're like, all right, we feel like we can match up one-on-one with Worthy and Hollywood, and we've got to zone up Rice. Okay, how you going, Kelce? Well, what are you going to do when Thornton's out there? What are you going to do when Juju's out there? I mean, it's just, I don't care who you are. Nobody's corner 5 is out there matching up. Like, it's just at some point, you know, and then on top of that, if you're playing man, Mahomes can run because, you know, eyes on him and he's taking off. It just makes it, you know, I used to say this when they won the Super Bowl the last time they won it in 2023. I said one of the things that the Chiefs had such a schematic advantage with was because Snead and McDuffie could both play in or outside. they could literally any game be like, this is how we're playing you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Have fun. Like, we can match up however we need to match up. I feel like that's kind of becoming the reality on offense for this team this year, where it's just, okay, cool. You want to play over the top like Detroit did tonight? You want to say, hey, we're not going to let you get great. We're going to kill you on short and intermediate stuff. Mm-hmm. You want to try to take that away? Cool. Throw it right over your head. You want to double Kelsey? You want to sit on that? You want to sit in the middle of the field? All right, fine. We'll corner you to death. Corner routes, stop routes. But they have an answer for everything, and it all, quite frankly, starts up front. You know, the last couple of years, how many times you sat there and watched a game and been like, if they could just block, this guy's open, that guy's open, but they cannot block. Well, this team, this is maybe the best offensive line he's ever played behind.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times, and look, Detroit got pressure occasionally, but I mean, there was a lot of time. He just sits back there.
Uh-huh.
And then occasionally he'll have a spin move out of Hutchinson sack and just gun it 20 yards. You're like, all right, you know?
Crazy,
I mean,
dude.
Look, and then you get the Raiders next week, which we'll get to later in the week. With our own.
We don't need to spin any of our breath right now talking about that helpless football team.
No, they are not good. But look, it's the point is, you know, for the last couple of years, even as great as the Chiefs have been, it's been a slog offensively.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's not. This is the first. Right. This is the best they've looked since 2022 offensively, and it is because it can block. And they have a depth in that receiver room that is now with Rice coming in. I mean, it's a great problem to have, but it's like, how the hell do they get all these guys in the field?
Right.
You know, like what is it? It's going to be like watching a fucking line change in hockey where you got guys are just like diving over the boards to get in there. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how they do this because it's just all, I mean, they have so many guys. So, but again, it's a great problem to have. You'd rather have that than, you know, trying to figure it all out.
It is also so funny that this team struggled to find a left tackle for years, and now they have two. Now they just have two of them that they can play.
And one of them, who was the starter last year, who was terrible, is now just turning into an absolute cement wall at left guard. I mean, I don't even feel like I've had a couple people be like, "Oh, what about your take on Kingston?" I'm like, it was right. It was horrific all summer.
Yeah,
the first two games, I wouldn't say he was horrific, but he was certainly inconsistent.
Right.
The last four games, my God, he looks like Joe Tooney. I think he's been beaten once in 4 games.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's gone on with him, but whatever it is, Andy Heck, maybe Creed, or I have no clue. I mean, I'll give himself a lot of credit, but like,
right, yeah.
It's been unbelievable. I mean, the guy is it's like, okay, well, we got Kingsley left guard, so you were good there, and then we just move forward. You know, it's been incredible. He's done a tremendous, tremendous job the last 4 weeks.
He really has. This offensive line did really good. Jaylon Moore did really good. We should talk about kind of the Simmons situation. Still some uncertainty around it at the time of recording this podcast. Andy Reid talked about it after. The timeline is interesting, kind of how everything unfolded. But it's a good thing they paid Jaylon Moore. It is a good thing.
Right tackle next year.
Yeah, they will have a right tackle next year. But you guys already know I'm calling all Chiefs fans. After a game like that, you're going to want to be on the 50-yard line, and you can be on the 50-yard line, on the field, at the 50, inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. We got to take a break, but we'll be back right after this to talk a little bit more about this Chiefs win over the Lions and some other things that happened in the National Football League. Don't go anywhere. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s. And my husband, Alan, and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Just coming across my desk here, Matt, from Nick Jacobs on the Twitter. The Lions blitz Patrick Mahomes on 3 of his 39 dropbacks. It was the second lowest blitz rate under Dan Campbell, 7.7% per Next Gen Stats. Not blitzed a whole lot, and can't imagine he wasn't pressured a whole lot by terms of the eye test when it comes down to it. Aiden Hutchinson maybe a couple times, especially when they one-on-one him with Noah Gray. That was an interesting choice.
Oh my God. That was actually when I took a 5-minute walk.
Yeah, look, to Noah Gray's credit, like he held him up for about 4 seconds, and Mahomes probably should have gotten rid of the ball and probably should have. But like for Aiden Hutchinson to do that to another grown man and then do what he did to Patrick Mahomes with one arm was like, oh my gosh, this guy's insane.
I can tell you, so when Aiden Hutchinson was coming out of college, I was working at Fanside at the time, and I was covering the Super Bowl between the Rams and the Bengals, and there is a gym in Thousand Oaks called Sports Academy. It used to be Kobe Bryant's gym.
Yeah.
And that's where Hutchinson was training for the combine and training for the triathlon and everything else. Yeah. So I ended up writing a whole story on this group of guys that were out there, like how they're training and how they're preparing. And a couple of the guys, it wasn't just Aiden Hutchinson, it was also Ike Ekwonu, it was Boye Mafe, it was the whole bunch of guys, right? So I got there at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. And I walk in, and Aiden Hutchinson and Ike Ekwonu are planking for minutes at a time, laughing and talking to each other, which would have been impressive. It was made more impressive by the fact that they were planking while each of them had 180 pounds on their backs.
Wow.
Planking like you and I would sit in a lawn chair. Right. Like just not a problem. 180 pounds. I was like, this is warming up. You kidding me? And yeah, I remember talking to Hutchinson about super nice guy. Really interested his dad. I got to know his dad a little bit. Yeah. He was just talking about how, he only drinks a certain type of water because he gets his minerals elsewhere. So he doesn't drink mineral water. It's got to be distilled water. That's insane. Because he's got to know every mineral that goes in his body. I mean, this guy, look, it's not surprising he's as good as he is. Okay. But the bottom line is, I thought the Chiefs, you could say, well, they gave up 3 sacks. You know how many quarterback hits they gave up?
3.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you'll take it.
Pretty damn good. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like you said, I really wanted him on Mahomes in a sense. Like I think he needed to tell you. Now it's also on Andy Reid for designing a play that has their backup tight end one-on-one with Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah. Also didn't love the naked bootleg to Aiden Hutchinson in the third quarter.
That was an interesting call.
Like, I'm just going to say maybe roll the other fucking direction if you're going to do that. Like, not right at an all-pro defensive end. But look, I thought overall they played really well. Played a lot better than the Jets and the Broncos did. And, they look, as weird and as annoying and as wonky and as infuriating as this start has been, they're honestly kind of right where they need to be. I mean, after all of this, they're game out. So what? They play Buffalo. They play the Colts. They play the Chargers at home. They play the Broncos twice. Like, they kind of, like, I know they don't mathematically control their own destiny with all those teams, but, like, they kind of do. Like, they really kind of do. Like, their destiny really is in their hands with 11 games to go, getting Rice back, and I'm assuming Justin Simmons moving forward, and he's not hurt. So, but yeah, a huge win on a night that they had to win the game.
Absolutely. You mentioned that it was a game that they had to win, obviously, in terms of like, because every team in the division also won today. Like that also plays into it, as well as really tough to be, what have they been, 3-4 going into this, getting Rashee Rice back. Now you're 3-3. You feel like you've been 2-4, actually. I forgot how math works. You would be, now you're 500. And Matt, we talked about this. Like everyone thought that like Chiefs just stay 500 by the time that they're back. Like if they were above 500, it was going to be icing on the cake. But if they were at 500, all right, season starts now. Season starts now for the Chiefs as they kind of get into the nitty gritty. And one of the things that we talked about with this team is like they had to cut out the penalties. 13 penalties last week, 0 this week. That's going to do it. That's certainly going to help. I think they're like the first team since like 1975 to have no penalties, no turnovers, and 1 punt. And that's a crazy stat. That's an insane stat. I think NBC ended up pulling that on their broadcast. I saw that tweeted out. That was incredibly well played, well coached game by the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, there's obviously a couple spots that you can point to and be like, oh, you like would have wished that there was some better stuff here, better execution, special teams, couple of play calls we talked about there. But like overall, wildly clean game, wildly well officiated. I did just see this come across my desk as well, Matt. Do you know that people were complaining about Aiden Hutchinson's roughing the passer, like saying that Mahomes flopped?
Yeah, the flop king. Yeah. What a bozo. Listen.
Legitimately shocked that people think that that's not roughing the passer.
That's about the easiest call in real time. When I saw Hutchinson do it before any flag came out, I'm like, oh, but there's no
question. Roughing the passer. Yeah.
Like, the Chiefs have broken the brain of a lot of people who used to understand football because they can't, look, they don't beat them enough. So it's like, well, this is the only way to do it. And it's funny right now because most people tonight that I've seen that are like real media members are like, man, Chiefs are back. Offense looks great. Everybody's celebrating now.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Like, let's live in a world for a moment where they don't lose another game until they play Dallas on Thanksgiving. We'll see how much those same people are celebrating. Tell you what, the Jason McIntyre, he's not celebrating. He's pissed.
Yeah, you're gonna get some Hitler versus Stalin memes when it comes to if the Cowboys and the Chiefs play each other and the Chiefs are rolling. You're gonna get some of those at the timeline.
I look forward to the Chiefs scoring like 35 points in a quarter against Dallas because I don't think Dallas can do anything against them.
No.
And we're going to get the obligatory shot at Jerry Jones just looking down as if he's looking at like a non-battlefield.
Right.
That'll be fun. That'll be good. And then inevitably, whoever the hell's calling it, probably Nance and Rome will be like,
yeah.
I mean, they traded Micah and now like this is what's happened. Like, look at what's happening. It's like, yeah, well, they did lose to the Panthers today.
They did lose to the Panthers.
Couldn't stop. Just could not stop Carolina.
Bryce Young.
30 point. Carolina rushed for 216 yards in this game.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle went off, dude. That guy is he good?
He's against Dallas.
Well, I mean, last week, who did they play last week? I don't remember who they played last week, but he had a good game last week, too.
Oh, well, they played the Dolphins.
Okay. All right, never mind. I take it all back.
But he did have 206 rushing yards against the Dolphins. So the Dolphins were like, wait a minute, can he come to a players-only meeting?
They need anyone to come there. Anyone to go to the meetings.
The Dolphins are a freaking disaster.
Before we fully move on to like the other things in the NFL, because the Dolphins are a disaster, we should talk about the Simmons thing a little bit because the timeline of that is all a little interesting. Obviously, it's easy for us to kind of like not talk about it because Jaylon Moore played so well, right? We're like, oh, all right, yeah, no. This would have been a bigger conversation point if like Jaylon Moore didn't play well, and this was a lot closer of a game of kind of everything that went down. So like timeline wise of this whole thing happening, this is the second time in as many weeks that that Joshua Simmons was added to the injury or availability report, whatever you want to call it, on the game day. So this is the second time in 2 weeks he was added to it. This was a personal issues. This was, I can't remember what time it was. It was before the noon games kicked off, I think. So it would have been.
It was like probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so that's probably pretty close to the time that they'd be leaving, like the team hotel, to probably get to the stadium. You would think. So it's one of those situations where, okay, then now that they're adding him to the injury report, that's kind of interesting. Reports then come out. I believe Ian Rappaport might have been one of the first ones to tweet out that, like, oh, he's actually in California and is doubtful to play. They don't think he's going to be back in time. If that were to happen, Jaylon Moore would be the starter. Then you have the tweet from James Palmer, where he says, like, hey, not everyone on the Chiefs staff knew about this. So that's kind of interesting. And the whole timing of everything coming out was really interesting. And then it is later reported that the Chiefs say, like, hey, not going to make it. He's out, dealing with the family issue. Andy Reid talked about it at the game in an Andy Reid way of just saying, like, hey, yeah, we're aware of it, we're working through it type of deal, kind of like a non-answer answer, as Andy Reid typically does. But Matt, first thoughts on this whole situation. Very bizarre. And this is the second now weird family. I don't want to say weird as in like a negative connotation, but out of the ordinary family circumstance situation that the Chiefs have now had when it comes to having a player take up with a family issue.
Well, listen, I think I don't know what's going on with the family member in question. And I certainly would tell you that I think football is important, but it's not as important as somebody's health and somebody, loved one or anything like that. Yeah. The question I think has to be asked is, okay, look, if you had to miss a game because of an urgent family matter, fine. If James Palmer's reporting is accurate, knowing James, I believe it would be.
Yeah.
Why was the team unaware of what was going on?
Yeah.
If that is accurate, that cannot happen. That cannot happen. If something came up and he called up Brett Veach or Andy Reid and said, guys, I have no choice. I have
only told who we needed to tell, basically.
Fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine. If he didn't do that and he's gotten a plane and went back to California and just didn't tell anybody, that's a much bigger problem. Andy Reid after the game, also, I'm missing a quote. I saw him basically, he was asked about it and said that he wasn't going to talk about what he found out about.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder, did he find out about it? Like, or was it just like, hey, Andy, guess what? It's 4 hours for game time and you're off tackles
not
on the West Coast.
Yep.
I don't know enough about it to give a real in-depth opinion, because I'm not going to hammer the guy over it and then come to find out, well, actually, yeah, he told everybody. But look, I don't think it's something in terms of, 2 weeks in a row. I mean, last week he was at it because he had an illness and he was fine and he played really well. Like, I don't, 100%. To me, that's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
For anyone who's unaware, if a player receives any treatment for anything, they have to be on the injury report.
Yes.
So he could have gotten like an IV or something before the game and they have to put it on there. Mm-hmm. And there's no probable anymore. There used to be, you were doubtful, questionable, probable. They got rid of probable for reasons I'll never understand. So
yeah, that's weird.
You got to be questionable. I could care less about that. Look, hopefully everybody's all right. He's back. Everybody's good. Move forward. Fine. But if he didn't tell anybody and just got on a plane and went back to California, that's something that, frankly, he can't do. And would have to be dealt with internally. I'm not saying he's got to be suspended, but he's got to have a stern talking to over it, because that can't happen. This is not college. You can't.
Yes.
You're a paid professional athlete. This is not college football. You can't just do that. But I don't know because I don't know the details of it.
100%. I don't think that we necessarily I think we're in a society right now where it feels like you need to have a take on everything as soon as it happens. I don't think we have to have a take on this. And I feel pretty firmly that we don't have to have a take on this. But I just think it's very, to mention the timeline is interesting. I tweeted this out too, just because of I tweeted this before the reporting was out from Ian and from everybody else about what he was absent for. I was wondering maybe a little bit, it could have been, maybe he just struggles on game days with anxiety and stuff like that. And he does receive some sort of treatment like an IV, and he was throwing up, right? So he needed an IV before the other game, or maybe it was something of hey, he needs had like a panic attack and needed some treatment in that regard, right? Like that was like could have been something that I was speculating about, obviously, but that's clearly not the case. It is confirmed he is dealing with a family matter out on the West Coast. He's from San Diego out there in California. So all a very interesting timeline. Good thing the Chiefs played Jaylon Moore. It is very funny that this is the week. This last week, I was just like, I started to bring up like, hey guys, funny that the Chiefs' big ticket free agents that they signed as soon as free agency opened were Jaylon Moore, who is a backup player, Elijah Mitchell, who has yet to be active, and Christian Fulton, who seems like has yet to be active. And I was basically saying they got like $50 million sitting on the bench. And the week that I start doing that is when Jaylon Moore comes in and plays. So maybe I should do that more. Maybe I should complain more.
I mean, just
worked.
I mean, Jaylon Moore came in and got the job done.
Did great.
I mean, listen, it's good to know he's the insurance policy.
Yeah. Look, I honestly, big brain theory here, Matt, might not be the end of the world that happened. To know that like Jaylon Moore is
I mean, especially considering the end result of the game. No.
Right. Yes.
I mean, if he'd gotten smoked, then it would have been a really big problem. But no, I think it's good. It's good to know. You know, he got a game under his belt. They look confident, look strong. So the bottom line is they won a game they needed to win.
Yeah.
They got a week to prepare for a Raiders team that is not the Lions.
If so, you know how Cam Ward in the press conference that one time said, "I'm going to keep it a buck, we ass," or something like that. Yeah. That's like pretty much they're. What is a step up from ass? Well, actually, hang on, because I think the Titans might be a step down from ass. So they might be like mega ass, but the Raiders might be ass.
Ultra ass.
Ultra ass, I think, is what the Titans are. We need like a ranking system. Man, we need to put together one of those tier lists of where we do like ass, mega ass, ultra ass, super mega ultra ass booty butt cheeks, and then just like, I mean, that's just like where the Titans are going to be. But like, we need to make a tier list rankings of like where we have the teams of like good.
Well, the Raiders, let's put it this way. Wherever you want to put them on the tiers, they are entering this game, at least the early line, is an 11.5 point underdog. So
you won't see that a lot in the NFL anymore.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. Geno Smith has thrown 10 picks this year.
He's so bad.
10 picks.
Just watch the tape, though, Matt. Just watch the tape.
I've watched it live, and
they're telling. There were real life people telling you that Geno Smith deserved all that money.
I'm not gonna say I was still friends with the person. I had a very impassioned argument with somebody about 2 months ago that Geno Smith. They were arguing he's a top 10 quarterback in football.
Good God!
And I was like, I got to tell you, he's not.
No.
Like, what? Like, no, he is. No, he's not. And, got to give Seattle kudos. They traded him and signed Sam Darnold. And I was kind of in the camp of like, yeah, I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to work without Kevin O'Connell. Turns out Sam Darnold's working without Kevin O'Connell. Playing really good football, beat the Jags, who I still can't believe the Chiefs lost to the Jags.
No.
But,
no.
Yeah, it just lit the Jags up. And Jackson Smith, the jig, by the way, has turned into like Jerry Rice. But
yeah.
But look, let's usually you're the one who segues. I'm going to segue. Did you watch the England game?
Hell no, I didn't watch that.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something right now. If by the time this podcast posts, if England hasn't declared war in the United States, I've lost all respect for her as a country.
That's fair.
I mean, that game was beyond words horrendous. Okay. At one point, and by one point, I mean late into the fourth quarter, the score of that game was 11-9.
I know that the Jets got a safety.
11-10. It was 11-10.
Good God.
11-10 late in the game. And then Denver kicked the field goal to win 13-11. The Jets had negative 10 passing yards. Were sacked 9 times. Would you like to take a guess if you don't know what Justin Fields' QBR is?
Oh, he played like ass.
Super mega ass, as it turns out. Yeah.
Was it 3?
9.
Oh,
9.
That's bad.
because we do this now every week, I always look at everybody's QBR and see who had the worst. He had the worst. Cam Ward had like an 11.
Oh, wow. Cam Ward played really bad, too.
Yeah. Well, so did Bo Nix with a 37.4.
That game was atrocious.
That game damn near shut the sport down.
I did obviously see the highlights of it after on the halftime shows and everything like that. And I was like, that's all I actually need to see from Jets Broncos. I don't need to watch a full. I actually came up on my Sunday ticket. I was like, watch the condensed game. No, I'm not actually.
We're not to. So for anyone out there who's unaware, an explosive play in the NFL is determined. It's 10 or more yards on a run.
Yep.
20 or more on a pass. Both teams combined. Take a guess how many explosive plays there were in this game.
1.
2.
Okay.
Bo Nix ran for 11 yards.
Oh, my God.
And Marvin Mims caught a 26-yard pass. The Jets didn't have a single explosive play in the game. The longest reception they had was 11 yards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Both
Set the sport
teams
back
averaged 3 yards per carry on the ground. The Jets gave up 9 sacks. Garrett Wilson had 3 catches for 13 yards. Cortland Sutton had 1 catch for 17 yards. Listen, I don't want to overstate this. I know the Broncos are 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good. And everybody spent all last week being like, I'll tell you what, they beat Philly. And then we watched the Giants beat Philadelphia like they were like the Presbyterian Blue Hose. Shout out Blue Hose.
Shout out.
Okay. Philly might stink.
Yeah.
Just saying. And Denver beat the Jets by 2 points. I don't know what to do with that other than say I'm not overly impressed. Now, the good news for Denver is 4 of their next 5 games are at Mile High.
That does help.
The Giants are next.
The Giants got some swag coming into that game. They got some moments.
Battle was fucking taking it up the field ahead of steam. Dallas is up after that in a game that is going to be fascinating because on one side of the ball, you have an offense that can't score against a defense that can't stop anybody.
Right.
And on the other side, you have an offense that scores 30-plus a game against Denver. That is going to be a wild game. You have those 2 games for Denver. Then they're at Houston in a game that's a race to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Thursday night at home against the Raiders and then the Chiefs.
Oh.
So we'll see. But yeah.
They're going to come in. The Broncos are going to come into that game and be like, we can win the division if we beat the Chiefs for this one. And then just get railroaded. That'd be so funny.
It's funny because normally when these teams have played in the last 10 years, it's always Denver's amply motivated to win the game because it's their entire season.
Right. Yeah.
And the Chiefs are 10-2 and could care less.
Right.
But then beat them anyway most of the time.
Uh-huh.
This is the rare moment where Denver might be up a game in the standings. And the Chiefs are you know what? Now we're just going to kick their ass.
Uh-huh.
We need to win this game. It'll be off a bye and all this. But yeah,
That's right. It is off a bye.
Man, I got to be honest. I thought Bo Nix was going to kind of be better than he is this year.
Well,
he's just not that good.
No.
9 touchdowns and 4 picks, and they've played the Titans, the Bengals, and the Jets in half their games. Yeah.
That's bad.
Bro, he threw for 326 yards against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, as you would say, just super duper mega rear end. $176, a touchdown, 2 picks, 206 yards, 153 yards, 242 on 6.2 yards per attempt, and then on Sunday, 174 yards, 5.8 yards per attempt. He has only broken 7 yards per attempt in 1 game this year, and it was against the Bengals.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't need to repeat it. Yeah, repeat it because we probably shouldn't. Did you see what Jamar Chase said at the game about what's coming next week?
I saw a tweet about it, but I don't think I saw what he actually said.
Okay, I saw the tweet. So I'll double check to make sure he actually said it was tweeted.
Okay, we got to take a break. So,
But I'll let people Google that.
yeah, let's take a break, and then we're going to talk about the Chargers and Dolphins game too before we fully turn the page on this week, because that game, boy howdy, I thought the Dolphins had the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever, and then they kind of did the funniest thing ever by doing what they did. Let's take a break. We'll talk about that after this one. Stay with us here. Final timeout. Chiefs Kingdom, I have got a question for you. What is your favorite touchdown? Well, for me, I can confidently say that my favorite touchdown, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. From spreads to money lines, same-game parlays, regular parlays, you want it, DraftKings has got it. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Was some eventful games in the AFC West, as the Chargers really did. The Chargers really did try to lose this game to the Miami Dolphins. And Matt, you and I kind of clocked this one of it like, hey, the Chargers might fall in this one. Like, this could be one that they fall in. And they really did. They really did try to blow this game, but it turns out that they were playing the Miami Dolphins.
They did. By the way, Jamar Chase absolutely said what was tweeted.
Awesome. Good. Glad.
So let's just say that it was a very explicit description of what the Steelers are going to try to come in and do to the Bengals next week. So leave it at that. Yeah, look, the Chargers, they were up 26-13 with like 6 minutes left. I was like, that game's over.
Yeah. And
then it wasn't. The Dolphins just immediately scored 2 touchdowns. And if Herbert got sacked by Jaylon Phillips at the end of that game, he should have. And it's a great play by Herbert, to give him credit, but like, should have been sacked, throws the ball to McConkey for like a 5-yard gain. And then the corner on the Dolphins tackled McConkey like he doesn't have arms.
Yeah.
And McConkey going down the sideline for like 40 some odd yards. They kick a field goal and they win. And then after the game, I'll stick with the Chargers for a minute. The Chargers also, like, listen, I know they're beat up. I get all that. They're also the Chargers, and they're always beat up.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, they're all right. They're fine, I guess.
Yeah, don't do it for me.
They're kind of whatever. Like, I feel like the entire AFC can be summed up by that sentence.
No.
And I feel like the Chiefs and the Bills just going to be hanging out in the AFC title game again. I know everybody's going to try to be like, well, what about this team? It's like, do you really believe in that team? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one serious does. I found it interesting that after the game, Tua walked up to the podium and was just like, listen, I know I just threw 3 picks. I don't know if he actually said that, but he threw 3 picks and then strolled up to the podium and just started running it down every teammate he had for like being late to like a players only meeting and the commitment level. And then a former teammate of his immediately tweeted out like, bro, for the 9 seconds I was on the Dolphins, like you were late to a meeting. Like, you can't say anything. And I, 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 I don't know if you're the Dolphins. All kidding aside, like, you just have to clean house.
Yeah, you gotta start over.
You know, like whether you blame Tua or McDaniel, like at this point, it's all of them.
It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah,
no, like right, like it's like the friends you have that the marriage is toxic as hell.
Yeah,
right. And like one day it's her fault and one day it's his fault, but at the end, like you're just like, and then you're talking to your mutual friend, you're like, bro,
yeah,
it's over. Like.
Yeah.
They're together because, like, they got married and they don't want to go through the divorce, but they actively hate each other.
Right.
That is the Miami Dolphins right now. Like, there's an actual clear and obvious hatred, I think, going on in that locker room. And I get it. Like, you're like, hey, we figure this out. No, you're not gonna.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to figure it out. Like, McDaniel. Also, I am not here to fashion shame anybody as I sit here in my hoodie every day, okay? And my basketball shorts I've had for like 8 years because it's all about comfort in the home office.
Right.
Mike McDaniel, the capri pants are a bit much when you're 1-5.
Yeah, yeah. The shtick is
wear some pants.
It doesn't hit as good, you know, when you're 1-5.
And I'm not shaming him. You want to wear capri pants, go nuts, but like, bro, it gives up, like, right or wrong, it gives off a vibe that you really don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Andy Reid was strolling around in his Tommy Bahama on the sideline,
oh yeah,
they were losing games. Hey, man, like,
button it up.
Yeah, like maybe leave that in the locker room. You know, like it's kind of look. You know, like Mac Hollins walks in like barefoot to the games.
Yeah.
All right, it's not my deal, but like, all right, listen, you want to do that when you're like 12-2, cool. You're doing that when you're 4-8. It's not as cool. You know, like
it's true. That's very true.
You know, Travis Kelce's worn some crazy stuff over the years, but like, you know why he gets away with it? Because he's Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
You're winning and he's great and whatever. But like, you roll in wearing some of that stuff when you're like 2-8. You kind of look like a bozo doing it. Like, and I'm sorry, man. Like, you want to wear capri pants when you're 5-1. Hey, yeah, it's hot in Miami. Go crazy.
Right. Yeah.
You're doing that, and you're 1-5, and Tua is throwing 3 picks and then throwing 50 guys under the bus. I don't know. It's just maybe it's a dumb point. Like maybe people think, who cares? I'm not saying like it's a disaster that he's wearing, but it gives off a vibe of like a nonchalance.
Yeah,
really doesn't fit when you're 1-5.
For sure. I do think that, you know, I do kind of respect it of like, I'm going to wear this when I'm 5-1. So I got to wear it when I'm 1-5 type of deal. It's like there's a good commitment to the bit, for lack of a better term there. I also love, you talked about, Tua's 3 picks. His last pick coming on the last play of the game was legitimately that happened. And I was like, of course he threw a pick on the play that they were honestly running a check down to with 5 seconds left to try to, it wasn't even a Hail Mary interception, which you'd be like, all right, no, that's fine. But no, I mean, look, Darren Waller apparently is good at football. He just needed a year off to clear his mind and write as many songs as he could. And then he keeps scoring touchdowns, which is kind of crazy. He scored that game, the touchdown to give them the lead. And then you mentioned the play that kind of led them. You had Jim Harbaugh saying that he's going to remember that play until he dies. I don't know if you saw that. It's like, Jim, this was week 6 against the Miami Dolphins. You won a national championship, big dog. You're going to remember a week 6 play against the Miami Dolphins until you die.
Jim Harbaugh's pressers are an adventure.
They are.
Man says some stuff that really just catches you off guard. I hope, by the way, you're ready, because I looked at Miami's schedule and I was like, man, I wonder what's coming up for the Dolphins. You know what they play? You know who they play next?
I don't know off the top of my head.
They're Cleveland next weekend.
Oh my gosh!
Settle in for that game. Here's a little fun. Take a guess. What do you think the line is for that game? Miami at Cleveland.
Cleveland a point.
And don't disrespect the Browns like that. Browns favored by 2.5. Do you know how
Dare I?
you know how bad you've got to be for the Browns to be favored by 2.5? Dylan Gabriel basically just threw the ball backwards 50 times. Okay. They are horrendous beyond all comprehension.
Matt, there was 2 times.
2.5.
There was 2 times I tuned into the Steelers and Browns game because
Not too many.
Yeah, it was because I had it on the quad box. Every time I tuned in, I was like, yeah, there's got to be another game I can throw in the quad box here. There's no shot. And every time there was one time I was trying to shuffle some games around, and then that game came up, and I was like, oh, God, oh, no, oh, get that away. And, like, now people are saying, like, are the Steelers the least talked about 4-1 team of all time?
They should be. They stink.
Yeah, they should be. I also loved coming into this week. It was like, are the Eagles the most disrespected 4-1 team of all time? And it's just like
the Chiefs last year.
I mean, like no. I mean, I think that conversation is so funny. Like, we didn't just have a team that what did the Chiefs go 12-0?
No, they were like 9-0.
Yeah, because they lost to Buffalo, right? Was that their first loss? Because it could have been really funny because Bryce Young could have beaten them for their first loss. I remember that the people were wanting them to beat and then lose to the Panthers the next week because that actually would have been pretty funny. That did happen.
Interesting, yeah, but I don't like the Cowboys actually beat the Panthers.
Yeah,
it's like you have to be just a comical football team to be an underdog to the Browns.
Yeah, you do.
And the Dolphins somehow are 2.5-point dogs to Cleveland.
I wonder when we talk about all these really bad football teams, right? Like the Titans and the Raiders and the Dolphins and the Jets and the Browns. Like, there's clear classes of like Denver. Like, there's clear classes of like. We already talked about, there's clear classes of ass, right? When it goes down to it. I mean, there's clear class. This is going to be something that maybe I've already tweeted out by the time you guys are listening to this podcast. Is how podcasting works. But like, I've got to try to sort through all this ass and try to tear out the ass in the National Football League.
You've got to cut that and you tweet that out. That'd be great.
That football show out of context. This is what we get for recording this at 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you want?
I mean, yeah. Anything else on the National Football League? I mean, the Niners and Bucks game was kind of a fun one. The Bucks don't die, which is
the Bucks are starting you and me at receiver and scoring 30 points a game. Right. Did you see that? If nobody left, they've no running back, no receivers. They've the 5th offensive coordinator of the month on it. And they just keep scoring. Fred Warner, unfortunately, is out for the year.
Yeah, it's a big bummer. It might be his career, too, which is also a big bummer. I was thinking about that earlier, and I was like, damn, that would suck.
It sucks because he's a great player. So I hate to see that. The Bengals are just a hilarious. Like, they brought in all these people who all week were like, oh, they got Joe Flacco. That's going to help. Yeah, I got news for you. It's not. It's not going to help. He's not good. The Titans and Raiders, we don't have to spend even 3 seconds on. That game was disgusting. I watched like a quarter of that game and turned off the television. And I don't mean the game. I mean the television. For like 10 minutes to regroup. Jacoby Brissett is better than Kyler Murray. We maybe learned that this afternoon.
Yeah, by the way, the Colts. Yeah, I forgot
what was going on in the Colts pregame warmups.
Indianapolis is not the place you want to be before a game because Mark Sanchez getting whatever he's doing, and then you have what was that? He snapped a band. Anthony Richardson snapped a band and broke an
eye socket. Like, the hell happened?
Charvarius Ward getting a concussion because he runs into a guy. Like,
Colts Cardinals is just an
I saw, too, that somebody pregame fell bringing out the flag. So in Indianapolis, they need to cut out pregame stuff and just go straight to the game. Nothing, just
straight to the game. The players are just coming out after the anthem. Don't want to risk anything.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, my God, that game. Interesting. Yeah, we already covered the calamity in England.
Yeah.
Oh, one game we didn't talk about. Not that we need to necessarily for any length of time, but Rams-Ravens, the Rams couldn't score a point against that defense.
And like Snoop Hundley was the better quarterback. Like, they brought him in and like, well, marginally, but like he was clearly better. Yeah. People forget. Snoop Hunley.
People should forget.
Yeah. But he's better than Cooper Rush.
The Ravens threw for 117 yards on 4.1 yards per attempt. They are horrendous.
Yeah.
The Rams did nothing in the game offensively.
No.
Didn't matter. I think the story of the game, all you need to know from that game was it was 3-3 with like a minute to go in the first half. And the Ravens had a 2nd and goal at the 1 yard line.
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you, you got Derrick Henry. Seems like a pretty obvious choice. Like, hey, what do we do now? I don't know. Hand off to the guy who's a human tank. Yeah, all right. No. Let's run a direct snap to Mark Andrews. No gain. 3rd and goal from the 1. Okay. You know what would probably work here? A direct snap to Mark Andrews. No gain. 4th and goal at the 1. Let's give it to Derrick Henry, but not up the gut. Let's have him run like a sweep with nobody in front of him to the left side.
Yep.
Killed for a 2-year loss. Like, I got it. I really wanted to roll this take out, but I think the powers of BSI are probably too smart to let me write this. We're ever going to have a conversation about John Harbaugh, his coach?
Yeah, we need to.
Like, listen.
It's time.
I know he's won a bunch of games there, and he has. And he won a Super Bowl. I respect that. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm not saying he can't coach. Sometimes it just kind of runs its course. It's run its course.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's easy to sit there and say, well, look at all the injuries. And that's, to some degree, fair. They are non-competitive in these games. And, like, yeah, look, it's Cooper Rush and it's Snoop Hunley, and, like, you're not going to light the world on fire. But, again, here's a game where you scored 3 points. Like, I don't care. And the week prior to that, you scored 10. The week prior to that, you scored 13 before a garbage time touchdown in Kansas City. Like, the defense finally showed up. That was nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you're sitting at 1-5 and going to the bye week. And, man, it's getting late early.
Yeah, it is.
As Yogi Berra would say. All right, lastly here, Week 7 slate. We'll get into it, obviously, in the next show. But just wanted to toss this out here for the fine people listening to the show. There are a couple of games that are going to break your will to live. I'd avoid them.
I haven't looked yet.
Here, I got you. Miami at Cleveland.
Okay.
Carolina at the Jets.
The
Jets are favored in that game. They should not be.
No way. They should not be favored in any football game.
Think.
Yeah.
Carolina is somehow 3-3 to be fair to them. Like,
yeah.
We mentioned the Chiefs. I need to spend their 10.5. DraftKings are 11.5 favorite. But they are, the reason I bring that up is they're easily the biggest favorite of the week. Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are the hilarious. The Giants and Broncos could be hilarious.
That could be a good one.
The Steelers at the Bengals on Thursday night. I look forward to Joe Flacco in primetime. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, another doubleheader, baby. Another one.
That's gross.
Tampa's at Detroit, and Houston's at Seattle. And I'm not trying to make
it was so bad.
Yeah. Not trying to make it a betting pod, but I got to be honest, I am floored that the Lions were a 5.5 point favorite over the Bucs.
That should not happen.
What?
The Bucs should be favored, yeah.
I'm not saying to be fair, it's in Detroit. Like, I wouldn't, but like, how is that like a 3-point line or like a 2.5, like 5.5?
Yeah. I don't know.
Baker's going to go in there pissed.
Yeah. Pissed off Baker. Shit talking Baker and pissed off Baker. Two Bakers you do not want to deal with.
No.
He's got superpowers. Look, I know by the time you guys are listening to this podcast, I mean, there's still Monday night games. You got the Monday night doubleheader this week, too. Bills Falcons will be hilarious if they have Falcons do that. What I want them to do, that would be hilarious. And the other game is, Bears Commanders. Never mind. There's not a doubleheader. The other game doesn't exist.
I'm covering Bills Falcons for us.
Oh, good.
I'm ready to settle in and watch Michael Penix look like Joe Montana as Cole Bishop's just running around, just aimlessly in the secondary. Just The Bills are Matt Milano's not playing. TJ Sanders is on IR now. DeMar Hamlin's on IR.
I didn't realize he was on IR.
Yeah, they went on IR. The Bills defense is a tire fire. Like,
yeah, and look, if those guys were healthy, they would still not be very good.
No, it wouldn't be. By the way, both teams weren't throwbacks.
Yeah, it's going to be a good aesthetic matchup. That's what I'm excited for it. I did see are they bringing back like the gold trim on the Falcon, or
that I don't know, but I know that they're going with the red helmets, and the Bills are going to standing Buffalo.
The red helmets, they should have just never gone away from the red.
Their uniforms now are horrendous.
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
Both teams should have red helmets, by the way. I like the Bills' red helmets. That might be a hot take by me, but I like the Bills' red helmets.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I grew up with them, so I don't mind them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for this post-game edition show of That Football Show. I do want to redo a stat before we get out of here, Matt. This is from Nick Jacobs. He must be spending a whole lot of time on next-gen stats because he just keeps churning them out, dude. He's churning these tweets out about next-gen stats. The Chiefs' fastest sack of the night was by Charles Omenihu.
It was the only sack of that.
I was going to say, it's the only sack of the night. 3.6 seconds per next-gen stats. So Chiefs continuing the trend of not getting quick pressure, but that's nothing new. We knew that about the Chiefs' defensive front.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Chiefs aren't exactly, they're not getting home in 1.5 seconds. So,
no.
But it didn't seem to matter. They held the highest scoring offense in football, 17 points.
Shout out to them, and shout out to Brian Branch as well for starting a fight.
Brawl for no reason.
And then saying he felt like he was being bullied. That's why he started a brawl.
It's the National Football League.
Yeah.
I like Brian Branch. I've interviewed him. He's a very nice guy.
I agree. I had nothing against Brian Branch heading into this game. I thought he was a really good football player, actually.
You know what? I can also say, let's just call it what it is. He was extremely frustrated because they got their ass beat.
Yeah.
And he was probably frustrated. Like I've seen the clip, like Juju blocked him in the back and he was probably annoyed with that. And he saw Juju and was pissed to begin with and was like, I mean, not condoning it. I'm just saying, like, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's, so that said, listen, it's 1:23 a.m. and I got to do another podcast I got to do, but it's going to happen in the morning.
Yeah. That's going to do it for us on That Football Show. Appreciate you. Appreciate Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon and Holiday Distillery for making this podcast possible. Thank you to listening all the way to the end of this podcast. Hopefully getting your Monday started off right or continuing the tone of the Victory Monday for you guys. We appreciate you guys very much. We'll be back on Friday to talk about the Week 7 slate. Rashee Rice will be back. We'll preview Chiefs versus Raiders and all the fun things that we will be hopefully seeing from the team then. So for Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys so much for listening to the end of the podcast. Stay tuned in and locked in here on KC Sports Network. James Palmer will be with BJ Kissel for 10 Things this week. So be locked in there. And we'll have all kinds of stuff for you at KC Sports Network. Obviously, you got to subscribe to become a ball knower. We appreciate all you guys commenting, liking, sharing, talking about the podcast on social. We do see all of them. I go through the comment section. You guys are funny. I do enjoy going through the comment section every now and again. So drop those comments in there. Hit the like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend about That Football Show. So that's going to do it for us here. We will be back on Friday. Until then, we'll see you later.